More per round.
Hi, welcome back to Geeks on Dice's Curse on Dice. I'm drooling because I'm eating chips and drinking tea. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next two and a half hours with these lovely nerds, my friends.
Hi.
Before we get started, remember to, at some point, check out, there will be a link below. I got to go back and do that thing that I am too lazy to do every video and actually go back and make links for Connor's channel, Versatile Diecaster.
Connor just refused to show up until he does it.
There you go. that might
You
prompt
guys
me to do
won't survive without the only healing in the group.
it. Also, check out the Absolute Tabletop official RPG group. There will also be links in the description below to that. Just a quick recap last week. I don't remember you guys actually doing a whole lot of stuff last week. I remember
We didn't.
We completely ignored the Star Mangler that was hidden in the mountains.
Right.
We
That's
decided
tot-
to not go into the enchantment church that was messing with our brains.
That's totally what that was instead of like a tier 7 demon. It was totally a Star Mangler.
Well, that's good, because tier 7's not even in the books.
That's like a Gubberino.
So you guys ignored that stuff. There were some people that were all loopy, and you guys just kind of blew that off.
I mean, we tried to get them to tell us what was up, and they were like, "Can you hear her?"
Yeah,
No,
that was
we
fun.
can't.
You guys got in a fight with Olga. She nearly killed one of you, I believe.
Yes, Krevin.
Yeah.
Also, Krevin can't be here tonight.
It's because she nearly killed him that we had to start fighting her.
Krevin can't be here tonight due to exhaustion and other reasons, so we'll let him be. So instead of NPCing Dovin this week, we'll be NPCing him, which is odd.
Burn on you, Jared.
They went down the hill.
I know. Parent life.
They went down the hill. I believe one of them fell off a sled and rolled most of the way down the mountain. Got some weapons made with the star metal you guys collected. Also, that was the main important plot point that you guys kind of brushed off, but it's okay because I developed other things because that's what I do because I have no life. You guys discovered a small girl on her king's trip, or king's journey, I believe I called it.
Her father.
Her father's
We
king's
didn't
journey.
brush her off. We made somebody else take care of it.
There you go.
As adventurers do when they don't have time for your petty bullshit.
The royal family of the Bells, their daughter named Anna. Well, the niece of the queen of, I need my map because I forgot the name, Dragonvale. I remembered it.
So that's Oldbrook, but that's where we came from.
I'm 95% sure that that's where Dragon Tales takes place.
That's where a lot of stuff with dragons takes place, let's be honest.
Yeah. I was not very creative with that name, but if we ever go there...
I'm just wondering, if we go there, are we going to see a couple of little shit-eating kids just riding around on technicolored fucking dragons?
To be honest, it's perfectly possible. You guys went there my first campaign, and it had that cool illusory effect that I'm not allowed to talk about unless we go there.
Oh yeah, and Mike had a philosophical discussion about the intelligence of dragons.
Yep, that happened.
Because he's not a nice person, but every time it comes down to free will, he's always on the side of free will.
Even though he took a little hostage named Tabby, but whatever.
He saved Tabby. Tabby was going to die in an arena.
That's also true. Anyway, that's old shit. You guys don't want to hear about that? That's Team Carrot shit.
You want to hear about the new shit of the team that doesn't have a name.
New shit, we are currently at Emmy's house, Stoney's niece, Emerald, to drop off Olga and Anna.
Yes, and we told Olga to meet us to go to Waterdeep to meet us in Barovia when she can.
Okay. So that is the departure.
The portal was.
That is the departure of Dovin's wife, as far as you know. Well, You guys got to spend the night there if you choose to spend the night, or do you guys choose to head out somewhere? I would pull up a map, but I can't at the moment.
We can spend the night there. Sleeping at a family member's house.
Yeah, and Emmy will tell you, it's perfectly okay if you spend the night, but like this many people, like only one night, right?
Yeah. Plan on moving out as soon as we can.
I should stop typing when I'm supposed to be talking, leaving dead air, like I don't like to do. Yeah, I mean, if it's only for the one night, I have no problem with you staying for the night. But please don't interfere with my work. I'm working on this thing for Krevin that Zach totally remembers what it is.
Hidden Blade.
Thank you.
Correction, Hidden Blades.
Like, making them or just drawing up the blueprints for them?
No, I make things too.
Oh,
I don't know why
cool.
she's suddenly subtly Irish, but you know, it's okay.
Wow,
You're
it's
taking
fine.
my thing, and I don't like it.
Maybe it's Scottish. I'm not sure. I cannot distinguish the difference in the sounds when I'm making them. Only when I hear them.
Stoney looks at it and he's just kind of like, how do they put it back in?
How did I put what back in?
That sounds like a conversation you should have had with Grandma.
No, like the blades.
Oh, well, damn it. And she's like scribbles out the blueprint she was making. And she starts writing up something else to make.
Like, why not just a spring and like a little latch?
She looks back at you, Millie. Do you think... She's like looking at you. Do you think that he would notice if the spring was made of iron instead of the star metal?
I don't think so.
No, probably not. Especially if it's all in like a if it's housed in something, you know.
And she opens up a drawer that's full of springs and pulls out like a little one.
Just make sure it's got a lot, a lot of push because he's got to stab things with it, obviously.
She puts that one back, grabs a different one. You're right. When you're right, you're right.
At least steel.
I'm sorry, I don't make things very often anymore.
Do you have any friends around here that could help you make the thing?
She pauses for a minute. Yeah, totally.
You don't
Maybe-
have any friends, do you?
Maybe they'll be over in the morning.
Just kind of pat her on the shoulder. I'll be your friend. Don't worry.
It's okay. It's quite okay. I make plenty of friends. I have lots of friends. But I've been busy lately. Yeah, that's it.
I feel better. I used to have lots of friends, and they all died.
I'm
See?
your friend.
And I'm avoiding that. You are my uncle. It is a little different.
He was talking to Millie.
Oh.
He's my friend. This is all about
She just kind of shrugs into her coat and just keeps writing shit. You can almost see the goth makeup starting to develop on her face as just doing this to her.
Yeah. Millie is going to torment her the entire night.
I assumed.
Just like not always like overtly either. Like she'll just sneak up and lean over her shoulder for however long it takes her to notice. Which with Millie it could be an hour.
So I rolled to see if she could it flipped over, but I rolled to see if she could concentrate, and I got a natural 20.
So she's concentrating real hard.
By the way, these are the Dragon Heist dice. This is the big D20 that comes with it.
Best part of it comes when she's like screwing something into the blade on the table, and I just kind of do like walk on my hands past her on the table. Just how you doing? Walk past again.
She'll look at you. Don't you need to go to sleep?
I don't sleep that much anymore. Something
Here,
about
drink this.
Looks at it. Pulls out an empty flask. Thank you. You know anything else cool? Your mother gave me your mother, your aunt, your grandmother. I can't fucking tell anymore.
My grandmother.
Probably grandmother gave me a nice nifty tool belt. I'm gonna fill it with.
Grandmother Crystal? Oh, you want something nifty? And she'll like pull out one of those springs. Here you go. And it's like it's like this big. It's a big ass spring.
I pull out my crossbow and start looking at the two of them.
You could probably do something with that. I would let Uncle Stony do it, but you could probably do something with that.
Do you have a boxing glove?
I know exactly where this is going. Unfortunately, Emmy as a person would not have a boxing glove.
That arrow of such eldritch power will have to wait. She does keep the spring and continue to torment her, though.
Mundane walloping ammo.
Non-lethal.
Dolan, I hate to go there, but
Are you drinking or not drinking?
that is actually a very important question.
Dovin is drinking.
Okay.
Dovin! Why?
You're so close to sobriety.
It's a sweet bliss.
So as you drink, the place I wanted to go there with, I didn't want to go there with, is it's probably your last night with your wife for a while. What are you doing?
Let's just say.
Keep in mind, there is no guest room and there is a child in the only room in the house.
Yeah, not going to stop Dovin.
Also, keep in mind, Dovin has absolutely no such thing called as couth.
But does Olga?
Olga will insist that if you insist on doing this particular activity that we will not go into, and damn it, I am not role-playing this shit, there is a privy room which may feel more at home for Dovin.
Any room for Dovin.
Any room for... God damn.
Are we sure Dovin's not a bard?
He is drunk a lot.
A lot.
And he's doing stuff in a bathroom that we're not going to roleplay.
Is perhaps Dovin's last name Seppa?
Speaking of, Millie uses that opportunity to switch his bottle of wine that he might have outside the door out with water.
You really think his wine's going to be outside the door?
Yeah, because he's going to spill it in there. It's just a privy. He's a large man. And he's very careful with his wine.
When he gets to a certain point of drunk, wine kind of just stays in his hand.
Jesus Christ. That's awful.
Let's just say they made a book.
Your child's going to have a rough life.
It has to deal with something about shades and all that.
I look at Millie. Honestly, I have a side goal, and it seems to be a lot easier than I thought it would be.
If your side goal was to get him laid, all you have to do is, get him drunk and point at something with a hole.
That's a part of it.
I did this to myself.
You did.
That's why I laugh at it.
If you want him to actually care about the person, that's a lot more difficult. I've known him longer than anyone, and I don't know how to do that.
I imagine pointing him at his wife when he's drunk is probably going to do it.
I don't think he cares, actually.
Well, that's disheartening a little bit.
You live with these things.
Yeah, but that makes my mission a whole lot more complicated, because what if they're mistaken about it being this way?
Is your mission that they have to be in love or that they have to have a child?
Child.
Yeah, I don't know that many parents that love each other, and Millie will walk away.
You met my parents.
That's one set. If you remember, my father wasn't around before Mom died.
Well, how many sets have you met?
All the ones in Barovia, and they seemed pretty shitty to each other.
Everyone's shitty to everyone in Barovia.
It might not be a fair place to compare people to, but it's the main metric I have to use at the moment, so you're just going to have to deal.
So why did we give you that spring?
Oh, she wanted it to distract me, but now I want to use it to make a punching arrow.
That sounds like an amazing idea.
Or it could have, a cap at the end and a primer on the bottom, and it could explode. I don't know. This spring can be used for something.
Spring's gonna be used for a lot of things.
Everything can be used for a lot of things. That's how we got out of that mansion.
True.
And that's why I have this spring.
All right. I knew you'd be able to get creative with the spring. So,
Yeah, I should just change her last name to Guyver.
it could be a middle name.
Millie Guyver Sweetberry.
That sounds halfling-y.
That's because of the Millie and the Sweet Berry.
So, eventually I'm assuming you guys do go to sleep at some point during the night, or do you just stay up the entire...
You do have to get some rest.
By the way, like, as soon as Anna sat down in a chair, she basically passed out holding her doll.
While Dovin and Olga are in there doing their thing, I'd like to go through Dovin's stuff and whatever kinds of protection, and you know the kind I'm talking about, Stoney's going to do his best to make it not work.
So Stoney goes through and damages all of Dovin's weapons.
You know that's not the protection. I'm trying to
The joke's on you to
monetize
think
this.
that Dovin would care.
Cuts on the
I wanna try and
bowstring.
do something with that stuffed animal.
The stuffed animal? Oh, the doll?
Yeah, I want to leave, like, hidden in, like, the arms of the doll with a little note on it, my question mark key that says, when you need to get somewhere you're not supposed to.
Okay. Okay.
Because one of Millie's favorite things in the world is to push children towards mischief.
Unless it's directed at her.
Well, if you encourage it, you're least likely to receive it.
Take Sapphire, for example. Oh, wait.
Now, there's a difference between egging someone on and encouraging them. I egged Sapphire on. That one was
After that,
amazing.
though, Stoney would turn in.
Okay.
Sleepy by the time.
Dovin, I'm assuming you eventually go to sleep because Olga tells you to stop and find somewhere to sleep.
He probably gets too drunk.
Actually, honestly, I imagine Dovin falling asleep on the privy. If you're trying to talk right now, Jared, you're muted.
My bad, my headset was cutting out. What'd you say?
You classy, classy bastard.
We're discussing how quickly everyone else falls asleep, and I said I imagine Dovin just falls asleep in the privy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good call. Good call.
Yeah, that's,
He does.
I know your character well enough at this point.
Yeah.
Sorry if I keep messing with my face tonight, guys. I broke a tooth this week,
Oh, lovely.
and it's very uncomfortable. The sharp part keeps pulling on my lip.
Lovely.
Yeah. I should get that fixed.
Yeah.
Also, I'm eating, so it's like getting stuck in there, and it's just uncomfortable. Anyway, yeah, so the next morning, Stoney, you wake up to a sound that you haven't really heard like this in a long time since, like, your childhood days of your father working really hard in the house. You wake up to the sound of large gears turning and a lot of grinding sounds and banging of metal and actual, like, worky sounds.
Good morning, Emmy.
When you get up, she's gone, and there's two prototype wrist blades sitting on her desk with a little note that says, "For Krebin, if defunctory, be careful of fingers, bring back to me."
Yes. It doesn't specify if we're supposed to bring back the blades or the fingers.
That's all the note says.
Yeah, that's Millie's main question after hearing it.
Stony is just going to pick them up, drop them on the sleeping Krevin's chest.
Millie, you would probably, having grown up in Neverwinter, you can recognize the sulfurous smells and the burning coal smells that you get from, well, coal burning from hearths and stuff like that. So that'd be very familiar to you.
Yeah, it reminds me of Stink Street.
Yeah, sure.
Every city's got some kind of smelly avenue. Most people stick all the tanners places and all that in one area so you don't have to smell it where you live.
Mm-hmm. Krevin, to you, this is all just, everything's alien to you.
Krevin's not here.
Or, sorry, Dovin. I meant Dovin. I mean, it's all alien to Krevin too, like super alien to him.
No.
Because, you know, he hasn't even had waffles until like 3 days ago.
I know. Oh, that's another thing we left out that I mentioned. That I've mentioned all over social media is Stoney's waffle familiar.
Find waffle.
Find waffle. Yep. So,
Today, it looks like a pseudo-dragon waffle.
speaking of which, your waffle is still with you, I believe. Oh no, I lost sound again because my computer is a terrible piece of junk and I can't wait to upgrade.
Yeah, the familiar stays with you until it dies.
Yeah. Yeah, me and
We're permanently dismissed.
Or that.
Mikhail had that conversation earlier about my familiar.
He was worried after he went unconscious.
I was. So, yeah, other than that, it's just you guys in the house. Annabelle seems to have left somewhere. Hopefully not far.
Is Olga there?
No, Olga's not there.
She's probably with Olga. Stoney's not going to freak out.
So what's the next move, you three, I should say? Because one of you is not the other.
We're supposed to be finding some way towards Waterdeep. Is that our next goal?
Yes, but first, Stoney's going to pay a visit to that blacksmith he paid his last 15 gold to.
Oh, yeah, we should probably pick that up for you. Your last and very recently earned 15 gold.
Yes.
So, yeah, you can get back to him. Simple enough.
Hi, how you doing?
It's morning. Right. You had the sword thingy, right?
Rapier, yeah.
And he hands you. First, he puts on the counter a rapier like a size for a Goliath, and he goes, "Wait, no, that's not right. That's not right." And then he hands you a more gnomish-sized one.
Thank you much. Stoney's going to pick it up and pull it towards him.
Now, the star metal you gave him was fairly heavy, but surprisingly, after it's been worked, it feels very, very light. Like you would estimate it weighs under. You would estimate that it weighs under half a pound.
What?
Get your money back, Stoney. He cheated you. It's aluminum foil. It's an aluminum foil.
Would Stoney know if star metal's magical inherently?
Probably not inherently. You honestly probably haven't had that much time to study it. You know your dad has at some point.
I mean, like, would he know if star metal is magic and the magic is inherent to the star metal?
In a way, yes. Magic in the same way silver would be. But to different creatures than like the undead or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You would know that much. It's definitely interesting and seems more valuable to have star metal over like silver or gold or an earthly metal.
See, I have an idea. there's specific things that the transmuter stuff works with. One of which is silver, but not star metal. So, Stoney's gonna hold on to the grip, and he's going to try and do transmuter stuff to get it to better fit his hand.
Roll. I'm trying to decide.
It's mainly just to test if it's actually using star metal.
Roll Arcana.
Okay. Oh no. That die is going back in the dragon egg. 9.
9. So as you use it, you're expecting. You don't know if star metal actually works with it, but you do know like silver or aluminum or steel or something like that would work with your transmuter stone, no matter what you try to do with it. And as you pass it over this metal, it doesn't seem to budge, which is
Cool.
strange.
Huh. I guess it doesn't work with that. Neat. Good to know.
The man says, "Yeah, star metal and magic don't mix too well. Be careful doing that."
Oh, I will certainly try to be.
And he keeps warming up his hearth, getting ready for his work for the day.
Do you want help with that?
No, it's part of the morning ritual. You mess up the ritual, the whole day gets thrown off. Thank you for the offer, though.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
You too.
What was that he said to you about the star metal?
Oh, it just doesn't work well with magic.
Interesting. I
So
think
I'm not going to be using this for anything magical. Just stabbing.
you think someone in the Neverwinter would be able to make me another set of these, and I kind of just tap my thieves' tools.
Out of star metal?
Yeah. Some looks are magical after all.
It'd probably be a lot harder to break.
Fuck you, son. That was really weird. It rounded like once. It's fucking done. I think it's because I swore at it.
Possibly.
Okay.
So, all right. So now what's the next move? I don't think Dovin was getting anything with star metal. I don't think Dovin even cared about the star metal, to be honest.
Even though he could have easily gotten star metal and like had it at least coat his armor. I guess they're just gonna try and secure some sort of transportation with a caravan to a port and then go with a ship to Waterdeep. Is that plan agreeable with everyone?
Yeah.
I'm going to assume it's okay with Mikhail. He seems slightly distracted at the moment.
Yes. An important phone call.
Must be. So yeah. You guys can secure passage easy enough. And Stony, if you show your emblem, you can easily enough secure free passage at that. Because that is a useful list to have. By the way, my first campaign, every member of the campaign had that and used it a total of once for an entire campaign.
Had what?
The brand.
Oh, and I've used it how many times now?
A lot.
To be fair, Mike was a seductive little bastard, and
Also,
Rogan just walked his way into places.
to be fair, Maik could not use his mark for a while because there was a curse covering it.
He did have terrifying demon arm.
That was a fun subplot. Anyway, so yeah, you guys secure a caravan. It's a large group of mostly humans, 2 or 3 halflings.
Is Millie one of the 2 or 3?
Yeah, and a half elf.
Maybe the other one. Kindred.
Are you like trying to like talk to this halfling?
No, just in halfling. Maybe even thieves can't in halfling at like the same time. Just be like, "What's up?"
He looks back at you. He's an older halfling. He looks at you and he says, "What has happened to people these days? Your halfling is awful. You're not even putting words in the right order."
Switch to normal halfling. That just means you're a better person than I am. Don't worry about that.
Much better, much better. Snaps the reins. Yes, he's the driver.
You're no fun. Slip away.
He's a driver sitting on books so he can see over the horses.
If I could read, I'd steal one of the books, but I can't.
Just to help like repay the people that are letting them go on this journey, Stoney's just gonna be like sitting on the edge of one of the wagons, holding his hand down towards one of the wagon wheels for like however long you would say it takes to make this permanent, but just like making iron bands around the outside of it where it would have been wood.
So stabilizing the wagon wheels a little bit more. Increasing their overall value on the wagons at that. So yeah, it would only take about a round, like 2 rounds. That way it can actually set into the wood. Change the wood into iron. So yeah, you can just quickly do that. Also, your waffle could do that, just so you know.
Oh, I wasn't aware.
Because it's touch. So that's what they do.
See, but I don't want to risk him getting run over.
Love the idea of him rubbing his waffle's face into the freaking wheel.
Just hear a little waffle.
Oh my God!
Just hear the waffle go. Poof.
That's what I want to avoid because it actually costs money that I don't have to summon waffles.
That's why I'm not allowed to eat them, much to my chagrin.
So, it's a funny image.
I've probably attempted it no less than 3 times.
Someone just keeps slapping you away.
Like one time you woke up in like the middle of the night with me just kind of looking around like, where's that?
It's in its demi-plane.
That's not fair, that's cheating. I'm all for a fair game, but that's not nice.
I imagine you guys out of game having an intense philosophical debate about this at some point.
Probably.
So where did you
come down to Stoney being like, I just can't afford to make another one. That's why I'm not letting you.
Fine. Be that way.
So where were you securing
But no, I can't bite into them.
You guys were securing caravan back to Sarlazet first, right? Where you can obtain a ship?
Yes.
Okay. So, okay. The end of the first day comes, and they pull off to the side, as you do in a caravan. It only takes about a day and a half in a full caravan like this. When you're not super rushing like you guys were the last time you were on the move. You guys have traveled this road quite a bit lately. As they pull off, a couple tents get pulled out of the couple carts. Other groups of families just climb into the wagon and sleep in there. They start a little fire. One of them breaks out a lute and a couple of the ladies start singing.
Stoney would like to join them with his cittern.
Roll performance to join them.
Come on, this is easily my best die. Give me a high number. Hey, not 20. So that's going to be 21 total.
So,
God damn it, Stoney.
So they were playing, and it was kind of, like you would around a campfire. Like that one dude knows how to play the guitar, so everybody else sings. And then you start playing, and everyone just kind of stops and looks at you, and their jaws drop.
I just learned how to do this a couple weeks ago.
Now, he's literally never sounded even close to this good. I don't know what just happened.
The guy holding the lute just looks at his lute, and he looks very sad.
I'll take that off.
And
postures up a little bit, and he's like, "No, I've got this." And he plays probably the worst lute sound you've ever heard in your life.
Give me that. You don't deserve it.
He goes, and like one of the strings snap.
I'll still take it. Just
He just looks very upset.
Hold on. Stony grabs both ends of the snapped lute string, holds it together between his fingers, and does the transmuter thing to make it stay.
Okay.
There you go.
He just puts it away. He looks very sad. Just eats an apple. And some cheese.
I'm gonna take it, Luke.
Roll sleight of hand and stealth.
That's on the last day, just so you know.
Oh, on the last day?
Yeah.
That'd be the next day. You expect towards the end of the day you'll be getting home. Or two sides of that.
I have to try to hide it. She wants me to just take it and walk away when the moment arises.
Yeah, I mean, just throughout the day of the next trap. Hold on, I gotta roll. I forgot. I gotta roll a thing while they sleep. Are any of you in particular staying in watch? By the way,
Stony will, and he'll have his unseen servant sitting next to him to elbow him if he ever starts to doze off.
Millie will probably take a watch too because Barovia's been Barovia.
I'm missing a D10, and that's kind of upsetting.
Would you like me to roll a d10?
No, I got it. It's actually a D100, and I'm missing the 100 die.
Would you like me to roll the 100 die?
Oh, don't worry, I have several sets.
Okay.
Okay. Good to know. So Stoney's staying awake, yeah?
Stony's staying awake for first shift. Millie's staying awake for second shift.
Okay. Stoney.
Yo.
Wait, Stoney's taking first shift, Millie's taking second?
Yeah.
And if there's a third, Dovin would take it. So
Around what time does your shift change?
It'd be about every 4 hours.
So the sun sets at around
That's
6:30ish at night. So about it's summer. Hot, silly me. So the sun would set closer to 9 or 10.
Closer to 3 hours apiece then.
Yeah.
If it's the shorter time of the year.
Stony, around midnight, 1 o'clock, towards the end of your shift, I should say. As you're nodding off once again, the unseen servant bops you awake. You look around, and you catch. Roll a perception check, actually. See if you even noticed.
All right. Let's see here.
That doesn't sound good.
Stony has an 11.
11.
Yeah.
So you don't notice what I was going to talk about, but something lands in your lap. Light, soft, and glowing a faint blue color. You look down, and it's a little bioluminescent feather.
I look up towards where it presumably came from.
You don't see anything.
Ah, well, this is a neat thing. He picks it up and.
Don't know what to do with that.
Put it in? Is there like a container that he has?
You tell me.
You know what? If he doesn't, he can probably like take 6 square feet from the cart and just be like, "This is a box now."
Okay. And you put the feather in the box.
No, it's probably like 3 square feet. If I'm being honest, it only needs to be like 6 inches, probably.
Yeah, the feather itself is about 5 inches long.
Yeah, so just like a 6-inch cube of box.
That's too though.
So he's just gonna
Really, a
do
6-inch
the transfer thing to make it into a box.
a 6-inch feather is pretty large for a flying bird at that. Which you presume to be a flying bird.
Well, it's glowing, so it's probably magic too. So Stoney's not going to question it.
Yeah.
So he's going to make a 6-inch box for the feather, put the feather in it, close it, and put that in his bag.
Okay. With that, your shift ends without any other major event.
Hey, Millie, wake the fuck up!
Oh shit! Fucking.
Turn.
You know, I'm gonna shoot you. Just kind of wave my pistol.
Okay.
Shoot me, I can turn whatever the bullet is into something else, and I won't die, maybe.
Millie, when you're waving around, your finger accidentally pulls the trigger. You hear that's not what a click sound sounds like, but you hear a click sound, but it doesn't go off.
Because it's not loaded. Beat you with it. I'll take my watch.
Just all the wind out of your sail really quickly, Millie, with that one action. Okay. Yep. During your watch, roll a Constitution check. You were already previously sleeping.
I'm not as good at these as I am as a perception. Mm-hmm.
Stoney's unseen servant could stay for an hour, but that's the most that you're gonna get.
7.
So, Millie, you get it in your head after about 45 minutes to lean back in the grass and be okay. You totally won't fall asleep. And then you're being shaken awake by something invisible.
What the fuck? Stab it.
You gotta hit it. It's got AC 10.
With disadvantage, that's an 8 on the die. So yeah, just poke.
And it's gone.
You feel no resistance.
What the? All right.
Fucking magic woods.
Just walk around for the rest of it so I don't fall back asleep. Motherfucking invisible motherfucking.
There's a guy across the fire when you get up to start walking around, smoking a pipe, and he kind of giggles at you. So when you realize, oh yeah, there's other people here too.
What you need.
He blows some smoke and it comes out in the shape of a weasel and then dissipates.
You're forgiven. And then I walk away.
Yeah, the rest of your shift goes by without a problem. And with your shift comes daybreak. No, because your shift would be ending right around 3 a.m.
3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah, and daybreak is around 6 or so. So you could
gets to watch the sunrise.
So you could elect to stay awake till sunrise or wake Dovin up.
I kick Dovin and then go find a place to sleep.
Fine.
Hey, I didn't do the bunion trick this time. There's improvement.
That's called personal growth.
You're just like, you wake up and you're like, my feet aren't bleeding. This is strange.
I better go back to sleep.
It's clearly a dream. This doesn't happen in real life.
All right, I'm shooting Dovin. I'm just kidding.
Roll for misfire.
So the fact that you decided to shoot Dovin now, I mean, probably should have been shot a long time ago.
I mean, because to be fair, even if I don't hit him, it's going to wake him up.
It's going to wake everybody up. I don't think you've heard this gun go off yet either, have you,
Did you
Millie?
remember to load it?
No, it's going to be funny when I eventually do shoot it at something.
I have plans.
She doesn't expect to be able to use it in a very sneaky manner more than once in a combat.
So yeah, Dovin, as you're woken up, I need you also to roll a Constitution check to see if you fall asleep in the last 2 hours before daybreak.
Well, that's a 17 on the die.
Yeah, you stay awake just fine. You ain't got an issue. You're all well relaxed. The guy,
spent last night getting very much well rested after lots of alcohol and things we're not supposed to discuss.
Yeah, it was a good recovery.
Delvin fucked.
yes, children, that's what we call it. Now, the guy with the pipe offers you some Irish whiskey or Irish coffee. I fucked it up.
No, he poured Irish whiskey into the coffee.
Yeah, Ireland is a place of ire here in the Forgotten Realms slash Inkstead slash.
Literally filled
Is that why Millie's so rude?
barbarians.
What's that, Millie?
Is that why she's so rude?
Possibly.
Delvin will just chug it. He'll accept and just down it. If it's got alcohol in it, Delvin doesn't take it slow.
At first, you thought it was just coffee, and it's hot. And it's very hot. And you drink it, and you're like, fuck, it's coffee, and it's hot. But wait, I feel whiskey. I know it's in there.
Delvin fights through the burn. If I have to roll for that, I will.
Yeah, roll another Constitution save. See if it burns the shit out of your mouth.
Oh, that was a natural one.
So, yeah, you're not going to be able to taste anything for the next, 3 days. You straight up burn every taste bud you have.
Worth it.
Even better, the first ones to come back are for bitter, usually. So the only thing you'll get out of your wine is that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
That just
mean,
means
in
I'll have to drink
fairness,
faster and get drunk faster.
there is a thing used to measure alcohol called IBU, which stands for International Bitterness Units.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. These are things. So yeah, once sunrise comes though, the man will start walking around and poking everyone awake. And within 10 minutes of waking everyone up, everything is packed up and ready to go. The fire's snuffed out. Nothing is left behind. These people are very clearly a very well practiced traveling caravan.
Stony just acid splashes their fire, put it out.
Hold on, I gotta roll something as you acid splash a fire.
Can acid put out fire? I should probably ask that first.
Acid's not really flammable now. Because most acids require water. It's just what molarity the acid is that depends on how strong it is.
So as they're snuffing it out with water and sand, Sony comes up and acid splashes it. I don't have my DM's book to explain what actually happens here. I'm pretty sure it's in the DM's hand guide when this happens. So what I'm gonna say happens is when you do it, the weird mix of pH from the soil, the fire, and the water makes this unique, weird thing happen.
Oh, it's gonna explode, isn't it?
Have you ever seen those videos where they mix two chemicals and the snake thing comes out?
Yeah.
That's what happens. It comes out, but the whole tower, it gets to 6 feet tall, is on intense fire as it lays over on the ground and starts burning its surroundings as well. And one of the guys is like, "What the hell did you do?"
No one's gonna go, "Oh, nice, Stony," and pat him on the
They're
back.
coming out and just dumping dirt on it, trying to get it out. Assuming because someone throws water on it, and it just spreads.
This is on you.
So
And Millie walks away.
you tell me if this is possible.
Delvin laughs and follows Millie.
You might burn down the whole
We
country.
go eat breakfast, how they have eggs and bacon that they'll just shovel out onto wooden platters and shit for everybody in the caravan. Yeah, we're just gonna go eat that while he's dealing with his shit.
You tell me if this is possible.
You can ask this question again. Yes.
Unseen servant, mage hand. Stony, the unseen servant, and mage hand are pushing the floating disc down onto the fire to try and smother it.
What is Stony's strength?
8.
What is the
One out of
unseen servant?
unseen? I don't think it says. If I'm being real with you.
The mage hand can only push up to
10
5
10
pounds.
pounds.
10 pounds. Is the waffle familiar also helping?
It's trying. It's at least sitting on the thing to push it down more.
With that, you
I
have
don't know
just
how
enough.
much the waffle strength is.
How big is Tensor's floating disc?
10-foot disc.
I forgot to make up the stats for the waffle. I'll do that right after this game.
You said that last game too.
I did, but I'll actually do it this time. So I started it, but I didn't finish it. So they get together and they just started with the waffle being able to help you. You just barely get all that little bit, but the water spilt out.
There we go. Everything's fine.
The guy that leads the caravan stomps up to you and he leads down over you and says, "Sir, we have offered you free travel. Please never do that again."
I certainly will not. I did not know that would happen.
Well,
Hey,
now we know.
Come back with like the eggs and probably Dovin behind me with more eggs. And just be like, Stoney, do you want to pour this on it? And just kind of wave my alchemist fire.
That might do as
It'll
good.
help a little bit more too. You think this will do something?
I'll spare a little of mine, but just a little.
So after
I'm
that,
done fermenting Stoney, I'll go back to eating.
Everybody's already
After
packed
that,
and leaving.
servant's gonna pop.
Yeah, I could just
Tensor's
kind of sit
floating.
on something while it moves and eat.
Tensor's floating. This is gonna.
Right? It is
the
very-
waffle is gonna sit on Stoney's head.
When Tensor's floating disc lands back in its spot, it is very hot and slightly warped, so it doesn't quite fit the way it's supposed to.
Transmuters.
Part of it still sticks out no matter what you do. It's just like a little
Yeah, that's
corner. Like a little corner is just dangling out to forever remind you of your mistake you just made.
That's fair.
Also, it ruins like the I cannot words today. The symmetricalness of it.
Yeah, Stoney is gonna try to work that out at some point, but if it can't be done with magic, it probably can't be done with mundane tools.
So, the rest of your trip is pretty uneventful. The sun is barely starting to set when you reach Sarlazet once again. You guys see that glint of the sunset bouncing off the water, stretching all the way into town.
I would like to speak with Krevin.
Okay.
Stoney's gonna pull the box with the feather out of his pack, and he's gonna open it and show Krevin. Do you know what this is at all?
It's not currently glowing.
It was
He look-
glowing last night. I swear it's bright as fuck.
He looks at it, he says, "It looks kind of like a bird feather, I think."
Yeah, but what kind of bird? Do you know that?
Probably one that flies.
Yeah,
Not one of the
I got
walking
that.
ones.
I've never seen a glowing bird feather before.
I haven't seen a lot of birds.
Oh, yeah, you probably weren't the best person to ask.
I've seen Millie be a bird.
Krevin's seen a lot of pain. That's about it.
Hey, Millie, do you know what this belongs
He's just
to?
eating spoonfuls of peanut butter, by the way, this whole time.
That's okay. We'll find a way to fund his peanut butter habit.
Do you know what this feather belongs to? That's fair. He's not even going to bother asking Dovin.
Watch, he's the only one who had a chance.
Knows exactly species, everything.
These birds killed his mother.
Knows the species, the diet, their migration patterns. He knows how
Could
to
tell if it was male or
raise one.
female. I mean, everything.
Speak their language so he can ask if they were there at the
I'll
moment.
tell you how many legs exactly it has laid.
So he's just gonna go around the caravan while they're going and just continuously asking, "Hey, you know what this is?"
And everyone that you ask is just like, it's a bird feather.
Yeah, but what does it come from? Is the inevitable follow-up.
Usually a bird.
Yeah, but what kind of bird?
I don't know, man. Do I look like an what is? Oh. God damn it! I just had the word.
Birdwatcher will do just as well.
Yeah, I wanted to use the fancy word, but as soon as it started coming out, it died. Somehow it turned into oncologist, and that's not right. Not right at all. So, but yeah. Do I look like a bird person?
First of all, I don't judge people based on how they look. Second of all,
It's true. He doesn't.
When you say
he's
that,
on the road a lot more than me.
when you say that, the person looks at you like and says, "Everybody judges somebody by how a person looks."
I trust her, and I point at Millie.
Yeah, as you should. You're friends. A lovely couple, by the way. But
First, again,
When he
I
met
tell this to literally everyone.
Ashkin had blood coming out of his eyes.
see, that I wouldn't approach. I have a
But I
whole caravan to watch out for.
Krevin's the saddest, most pathetic person here.
Krevin says, "Hey, yeah, you're right."
And he goes back to his peanut butter.
He's just using his fingers now. It's more primal.
Krevin's counting on his fingers all the time she cried since he met you while eating peanut butter. She got like a little peanut butter smear drooling down.
You don't have enough fingers.
He also counts his toes.
Anyway, I'll see you around. I'll see if somebody else knows what it is. And so Sony's going to go to the next person. Psycho repeats.
Just like walking all the way through town, asking everybody.
He's just going through the caravan, like hopping from wagon to wagon. Just like, hey, you know what this is?
Yeah, nobody in this caravan knows. I rolled for that too.
Damn.
I'm sure someone in Waterdeep will.
You get the general sense that these people are from up north. And maybe they don't have this particular bird up there. They seem to be making their way south, probably for the same reason you are, to secure a ship somewhere else.
Even more so, if you want someone to buy it as a collector's item, that's also going to be found in Waterdeep.
Nah, I like keeping things from weird creatures.
Fair.
Stony pulls out the piece of awakened tree and
Have
the
you
spider
tried eating
carapace.
Have you tried tasting it to see if it does something?
I haven't.
Always explore things with your mouth. I heard that after it came out, and I'm going to walk away now.
Millie says that every time I go to a tavern.
Oh, sorry, I had a Laura Bailey moment.
Stony pulls out the tuft of burnt fur, the piece of awakened
Just
tree,
you wait until I
the
make one.
glowing feather, the glowing crystal, piece of exoskeleton.
I forgot about half these things, to be honest. So Sony's just in the middle of a busy street with his whole collection spread out in front of him.
And then he's going to pick it all back up and put it back in his bag. I collect weird stuff.
You see a couple people on the street murmuring and looking at you, Stony, and when they see you look at them, they turn away and start walking away. It happens.
Walk away.
It happens several times during this whole transaction.
Are we entering like the actual town now?
Yeah, you guys are like in the outskirts of Sarlazet, which is not a very big town.
Oh fuck! 18 for on the die for a sleight of hand, so fucking 25. And let's do the heavy metal die for stealth because that's kind of funny. Cool. And that's plus 10, so that's 19.
Ooh. All right, I'm pulling up the document real quick because I forgot to open up this list that I recently refilled out, because every time someone steals something, I mark it off of this list and fill it in with something else, because that's one thing I do keep up on. Not the links in my descriptions below,
That's for the loot.
Oh, for the loot. Okay. Okay. Whew.
Yeah, there was a specific target on that one.
Loot as in Lute, not Loot.
Normally, I wouldn't consider taking someone's livelihood, but he bashed his instrument against the ground, and Millie does not respect that.
Millie doesn't respect people's belongings if they don't respect them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Why would she?
Yeah, you very easily take it away, and nobody's any for the wiser.
I have it slung over my shoulder when I get back to Stony. Hey, so how do you use these things?
Oh. Well, loots, I have no clue. I'm just good with this one.
And he pulls it out, and you see that there are very small differences.
It really is.
Here's a mandolin.
Cittern.
Cittern. So that's 3-string?
Probably.
3-string, longer neck, narrower body. Okay.
To be perfectly honest, I was picturing a mandolin this whole time too. And I knew it was a cittern.
I used to take violin, so I could actually play a mandolin without too much effort because they're really similar.
I would love to learn violin and piano, but I do not have the time. Anyway,
Yeah.
So what's the plan once you guys get back to town? Are you heading to your parents' house for the night before you head out, or are you just heading straight to a ship and going wherever you may go?
Stoney's going to stop by his
See your father one more time?
Yeah, he's going to stop by his father's house one last time.
Yeah.
So, as you guys are walking down the street, you're coming up to the Tark house. I call it the Tark mansion, but it's not a mansion. It's very small. So you come up to the Tark house, and at the last moment, as you're about 3 houses down, you see Onyx leave the house. Clearly, his posture and his body language tells you that he's really angry. Walks out the gate, looks left, looks right, sees you guys when he looks left,
Hello.
looks right, starts walking that way without acknowledging you, and then in a strange black veil type thing, he just suddenly gone.
Damn, I would have been able to catch up otherwise.
That is magic. Stoney knows exactly what magic means in that house.
Yeah, so just to point it out, Stony, that means you, Sapphire, the other kid, and him. Nobody listened.
I mean, you would assume that Shale got it from somewhere.
Yo.
You
Yeah.
think they're one of those people that made a deal, or do you think they just learned it like you did?
I don't know, but I can't do that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And then I turned into a raven. Haha. He
So-
got this.
Like full Raven?
Yeah.
You turn, then you can't say anything. Yeah, there you go.
Stoney's going to move faster towards the house.
So when you get into the house, Stony,
I'll just be on Stoney's head.
With
Don't
the
No,
what?
no, his shoulder. It has to be appropriately like silhouetted when he comes through the door. Just Stony, Raven.
Dovin can't fit in through
Stoney,
the door, right?
Raven, Waffle.
Dovin, I think you were.
Serious what?
I think you were giving another. I think it was the brownie that made you small. Yeah, the cake.
Yeah, so Dovin doesn't want to be small. He's like, I'll just meet you guys down at some tavern by the docks. I'm going to find some sailors. I am not dealing with that.
There are several taverns down there. You can find. You can leave and find one fairly easy.
Don't do drugs.
Dovin doesn't want to become the
recognize.
size of Millie again. That was a demeaning.
Millie, you're a bird. You
demeaning
can't talk.
moment.
Oh yeah, I'll turn baby head. Don't do drugs you can't recognize.
And I'm gonna, for the sake of fully splitting the party, Krevin's gonna go with you.
Let's go, Krevin. Let's forget all of your problems. We're going to need a lot of alcohol.
And peanut butter.
Do they have peanut butter flavored alcohol?
You drink enough, you might taste peanut butter. We'll find out.
I'm pretty sure that means he's died.
He just goes with you. Talking to you about maybe mixing alcohol and his peanut butter. So when you open the door, you see unusual sight in the Tark house. None of the children are in the foreroom, like the living space. Shale is sitting on like one of the chairs in the corner, just like his head in his hands, pulling his own hair, looking very upset.
What's happened? What's wrong?
Your mother is crying, and
Where's
your
Dad?
your dad is very red in the face, but he's very alive.
Okay, thank God. What happened? I saw Onyx leaving in a huff. What happened?
Your dad, as he's looking around, kind of wandering, his face is kind of wandering the room as he's stomping back and forth. He's angry. He says, "That damned brother of yours! I finally wore him up to magic, and he goes and makes a deal like that! What is wrong with him?" Sorry for yelling.
He's one of those people who makes a deal.
What are you talking about? What deal did he make? What's going on here?
Shale will look up from his hands and say, something dark. Did you hear it at the Star?
The one that crashed over near
Yeah,
place?
yeah. The father, he started losing it when we got up there. I just, like, right away, he was so far away, so quickly.
Did you guys go near a church?
Well, the Star was behind the church. I mean, we had
I get
to.
so confused.
It's just... Your
Did you
dad
see the creepy black worm thing?
your dad is now in the other room just yelling incomprehensibly.
Oh, was it the creepy black worm thing? Should I have shot that?
He says, "What creepy black worm thing?"
It came out of the mountain like, and then disappeared into the church. It was really weird.
Zach's laughing, but Shale's not. It says, I didn't see anything like that. We were only there for a few moments.
The sound effects.
Stony goes up to Shale and puts hands on both of his shoulders, and he says, when your dad gets angry like that, where does he go?
Yeah, what's that black spinny hole taken to?
The what?
Good start.
Uncle Stone, you've known Dad a lot longer. I've never seen him angry like that.
Stony know where he goes when he's mad?
Probably back to the church.
I'm gonna say you were very close with your brother growing up, and you grew up in Sarlazat. This is the house you grew up in, so you would probably know of a place where your brother went to when he was angry. So why don't you tell me what that's like?
Ooh, interesting.
Where that is?
Mysterious.
Onyx probably heads off towards one of the less developed parts of town and just like hides out in one of the fields, getting his frustrations out where nobody's going to hear him.
Fair enough. So the less finished part of town would be more towards the north, because you guys, Sarlazat started building at the sea and worked its way out. Now there's the whole peninsula that's southwest of you that you guys could work into eventually, but that's eventually. So yeah, you'd be going off towards the north, and you would notice as you're, if you go there right away, which you have to decide if you do or not, or you're gonna let him cool down.
Nobody's going there right away.
Okay. So Millie, Stony just
You want to go faster?
We're not.
Or better, I'll turn into hybrid form.
I don't think we're doing the hybrid sled.
The giant crow head will just.
So Crystal at this point, she's wiping her eyes and she says, "Millie, dear, do you need anything to eat, Stony?" And she just
Still in a hybrid form.
she's trying to be hospitable as she always does. She's like, "Millie, dear, that's very creepy." And she's through beet red eyes. You haven't seen your mom like this since the day your dad threw you out. Sony.
Did you get thrown out?
Don't worry. We're going to get him, and we're going to bring him back, and we're going to sort all this out.
Please, don't hurt him too much.
Don't plan on it.
Your father doesn't need this stress.
Hey, I've always noticed it's best to have something to work on when you're angry or stressed. And I'll pull out the loot. The previous owner of this was not kind to it. Could this get a little bit of repair while I'm gone?
Can I get what?
A little bit of repair while I'm gone?
I would keep most things out of the way of my husband and, well, everyone else for now. Yeah, Ruby's not.
I learned to deal with anger.
Ruby's not here either, by the way. She's nowhere to be seen.
Stoney's left at this point, going after Onyx.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah, so Stoney's already gone. Just
I'll catch up.
which isn't hard to do. So yeah, as you venture north, you notice that when you're growing up, this part of town was undeveloped. Now it's developed into like a suburban area. So you cut through all that and get even further north to where it's less developed, out into a field and a little bit farther. And you find your brother standing kind of on a hilltop looking at the sky, and he's just muttering to himself.
Onyx, what happened?
He doesn't respond for a long minute. And then he slowly lowers his head at you. And he looks paler somehow. Like his skin, not like he's turning pale, like his skin seems thinner. It's odd.
Was it the worm thing?
He
Stoney
looks
just reaches up to Crow Millie and holds her beak closed.
He says, "My dear brother, don't you hear her?"
What are you talking about?
Then he looks at Millie. "Surely you can hear her." "She's coming, brother. She's coming for the mask. When she gets here, it'll be glorious."
What mask? What do you mean?
You know what.
Alright, he needs an exorcism.
From the old stories Father used to tell us before we went to bed.
Is this the mask? Is that mask the same mask as the one we used to get back? As far as Sony knows. Does it share a name?
It says, "First, we have to find the treasures. Then we can have the mask. Then she'll be ready. Will you come with me?"
She. What are you talking about?
"Mother."
Mom's down back at the house.
"No, not her. The mother."
Do we just try and stick this in his face? And I pull out like the amulet of Raven guy.
Stoney would like to insight check to figure out what the fuck he's talking about.
Okay.
This is a new side of his brother that he has never seen before. That is a 20 total.
So you suddenly remember the book the story that your father told you. You haven't thought about it in a very long time because of all the turmoil between him, but there were the few bright moments growing up when he used to read you a story called The Treasures of... God damn it, what's his name? It's the PDF I sent you forever ago.
Oh, that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, that was a long time.
It was a long time ago. I've been building up to that for a while. This is a great DM moment, by the way. I'm pretty happy about this. I put this off for a long time. I'm proud of myself. Where is it? Oh my god.
That's how I felt with the reveal on Friday.
God, that's Canland. That's a lot longer ago.
What I
The
thought
tre-
would give it away was
The treasures. It's called the Treasures of Ferris Railmond, and it's a children's story about an elven wizard that traveled. He was an immigrant and traveled Ingstead, and performed a bunch of miracles to help the people that lived there and people that he came in contact with. There was a part of the story where he unites High Peak before it was officially its own nation, and it is the first nation of Ingstead. So this was a while ago, 2,000 years ago. But when he's talking about the mother, you don't have a clue what he's talking about with that.
What are you talking about? There's no mother in that story, and it's just a story.
At
I
this
was
time,
around Southern Isles. I haven't seen anything of his volcano stopping treasure.
he looks at you and says, "We're not going to stop a volcano, silly. We're going to take the treasure. It's there. I know it's there." And at this time, Shale comes running up behind you, and he's yelling at his dad. Something, again, incomprehensible between his ears. And quickly, Onyx looks at his son. "Yes, my son will go with me," and grabs him by the collar, and then again in that veil is just gone. Leaving you standing there with Millie in the night sky, or in the fairly warm summer's night.
I really wish he'd stop doing that.
Millie, hybrid sled.
Hybrid sled, fuck yeah!
I toss her a rope and cast Tensor's floating disc.
Alright, so where do you hybrid sled to?
I'm going to direct Millie towards the docks, since that is the closest place I could think of that he could get fast transportation to the places that were mentioned.
Okay. So you just quickly go there? Do you stop at home or grab Dovin and Krevin or just straight to the docks and go?
I mean, Jobin and Krevin were already heading there.
They were heading to a tavern or bar.
Well, Dovin said he wanted to go find a dock worker.
Well, just like Sailorman to get drunk with.
I'd be near the docks.
Yeah, so.
While
And potentially maybe some fist fights, win some money,
while they're hybrid sledding, Stoney's just screaming out of the way, gotta catch a brother. He's running and doing something he definitely should not be.
You hear a guy yell, "Yeah, everyone is this time of night." He's clearly very drunk.
I
And he,
Is Dovin standing right next to him?
no. So when you get down to the dock ward, there are 4 or 5 taverns in this area. It is very popular to put alcohol right here. It is where the tourists come through. It is where the sailors come through.
Stoney's just looking around for Onyx to try and figure out where he is, looking for any sort of guild ship or his signs of his brother and nephew.
So this time coming in, while you're looking for your brother, Millie, you see something you didn't notice when you came through here. You haven't actually came down here before. I don't think you've been in the dock ward, have you? No, you wouldn't have been.
I've seen it like in passing.
Yeah. And last time you were here, you didn't see this. The ships are lined up in one part of the harbor, but on the other side, you see 4. They look like ships, but they're attached to large balloons and tied to the ground.
Millie just kind of unconsciously starts moving towards them like, ooh.
So,
Anything have the fish hook?
one of the air balloons does have a big fish hook, like painted onto it.
By the way, I just started replaying Bioshock Infinite last night, so that's really funny.
Nice.
Stoney's going to point to the one with the fish hook on it, and he's going to say, "That one."
Millie's just gone. Leaving
I
you.
don't need to screech, but it's fun.
It's fine.
Millie has a good time doing it.
It's the small joy Millie has in her life currently.
Yeah, it really freaks people out when a 32-pound bird flies over their head.
Hybrid bird.
Hybrid bird, yeah. With people arms that are like kind of wingy and kind of not. Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah. Leaving Stony alone to search all these taverns for Dovin and Krevin.
So Stoney's gonna hop off the disc, bring it back to his hand, and
So
search as fast as he can.
I said there were 5 taverns. So Connor, roll a d6 for me on a 6 reroll.
Could roll a d10 divide by 2.
I mean, you can do that too if you need to.
Yeah, with your fucking fancy math.
3.
So the 3rd tavern you go in, you find Krevin on top of a table drinking from what used to be a jar of peanut butter, but now it's some kind of brown liquidy substance. And he's singing, and he's saying, Dovin, I love you.
Guys,
You,
emergency Onyx Shale kidnapping.
He goes, Stony! Oh, you're my little... And then he goes to step off to grab you and falls flat on his face. Off the table. And just stays there.
Dovin, pick him up. We gotta go.
Okay, you hear that the tab's on Stony as I grab Krevin and walk out.
Tony literally doesn't have money.
I have 0 gold.
The barkeep looks at you.
I just hold the thing. Guild business. We need to go now.
But they have a 9 gold tab.
Listen, this is an emergency. My brother kidnapped my nephew. I gotta go.
All right, hold on. You need to sign this waiver, this piece of paper real quick. And it's just relinquishing. It's basically a certificate that says when they send that into the guild, they have to send him back money.
Stoney goes up. He signs it as fast as he possibly can, and then he
Just
runs
blame it
out.
on Mike. Nobody will find that it's just normal.
You just signed him a blank check, but all right. You just take off. And you kind of have to, like... I don't know if you people have ever actually done this, but have you ever gone with friends from one bar to another, and everyone's too drunk to drive there, so you walk there? You have to herd the drunk people, and you're the sober guy?
Oh, no.
Okay, I've done this, and it's a pain in the ass.
It's like herding cats.
So it takes about 20 minutes longer than it should.
Jesus Christ, that's 22 minutes.
Yeah.
What do you mean? We got here in like
It's like 22 minutes. It's almost a half hour to get literally like 500 feet from you.
That's enough time for me to get up to the ship, see what's up there, and get arrested for whatever I end up doing.
So, Millie, when you land on the ship,
Stoney,
you startle a bunch of people who are preparing to take off, and they're like, what the hell are you doing?
I'll switch into halfling. This is really cool. What's this?
Stoney's using
But I just kind of start looking around, like, with absolutely no sense of space or, like, why they might be freaked out by this.
Yeah, as you you like peek, you lift yourself to look over the edge of the ship, and then you drop down, you turn around, there's a bunch of weapons pointed at you.
Hey, that's rude.
Several muskets, pistols, blunderbusses, swords of all kinds. One guy's got an axe that he's...
I point at one of the pistols. Oh, I've got one of those. They're really cool, aren't they?
It gets shot out of your hand.
It's in my jacket.
Oh. Never mind then.
It's like she's not pulling a weapon right now.
Probably smart. Finally,
Come on. I just wanted to look. Jesus.
there's a there's a dark-skinned woman walking towards you. She has slight points to her ears and kind of sharp teeth. She gets not close to you.
Seems like a woman in charge, and I like her.
She has a tricorn hat. She is very much in charge. She says, Miss, you have exactly 30 seconds to explain to me why you've landed on my ship.
I was flying around and I saw it and I was like, man, that looks really cool. So I flew up to it and here I am.
We once had a wizard do that to us. Not flying, but somehow wandered onto our ship and stowed away.
But can he do this?
That
I pull
wasn't
out the
me,
ball
was
and
it?
start juggling.
You just start juggling.
That wizard wasn't me, right?
You tell me.
You know what? I'll roll for it. Tell
This-
me
this-
high or low.
High is yes, low is no.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
That'll be fun to find out later.
That's probably how we got to the Southern Isles, if we're being real.
I like it. That, when Millie finds out about this, she'll gain respect for Stony.
So she says, "Ma'am, you have to get off the ship. This is an official guild ship. If you're not a member, you're not allowed to take passage."
Oh, my
Or-
friend's a member.
She hears screaming of
There's the
frustration.
people with that fish hook, right? Like, you could have had a scarier brand. I'm not gonna lie.
You just hear from the ground, "No, God, it's this way!"
Yeah, that's them down there. Lean over. Hey guys, they
You
got
see
a lot of
Stony?
weapons up there.
She leans over the rail and sees Stony trying to drag a full-size half-orc
And I
who's-
point right
who's
at him.
dragging a
Yeah, you
unconscious
see him
human.
with that, and I go into way too much description for how far away he is.
You see Stony.
She pulls out a spyglass.
Yeah,
His
you see the thing on his back with the that's a loot. He got that recently.
She pulls out a spyglass. She looks. She's like, "By God, it's him." Just
How do you
slowly
know him?
closes. You know that wizard I just told you about?
No, he's also a member of the guild.
That
You
makes
listen to
sense.
people.
He got off at Maliki. Well, he blew up part of the ship and got off at Maliki, but
Yeah, his brother just kidnapped his son and is doing something nefarious with the devil.
Brother
Wait, his-
kidnaps Stony's nephew.
And his brother kidnaps his nephew. Family makes no sense to me. I don't have any.
me neither, dear. I have none as well.
I'm just gonna give her a high five.
She
Like the saddest high five you can give someone. Just like,
she high fives you. When she high fives you, she only has 4 fingers.
which one's
Probably
this?
Stony's fault.
Which one's
Probably
this?
Stony's fault.
It looks like she's missing a pinky. There's 3 long fingers and then a thumb.
Does it look like it got bit off, or is it just way too old to tell?
It just looks like that's her hand. It looks like everything's in the right place. Kind of.
It's not always been that way.
She's like, "It's not polite to stare," and she puts her hands behind her back.
I turn into a raven. Turn
Wait,
back to Nelly.
Wait, raven or hybrid?
Full raven.
Okay. She's like, "Yeah, I know how you got here. I saw you land.
Into hybrid.
I like that."
Back down to raven with baby head.
So when you approach the ship, Tony, what do you do?
First, the mage hand is going to reattach to his gauntlet.
It's
Then
just hard to
obviously
conceive as Millie is a threat in this situation.
The non-team servant he's going to make pop, and then the waffle's going to climb back onto him. He's going to say, "Hi, oh, okay, I know."
Yeah, you do know each other.
Wait, because you have to talk to the guy on the ground. You don't know him.
Hi, listen.
Are you with the guild? Yes or no? He's not even looking. Are you with the guild? If so, present your brand. Wonderful. Are you friends?
Can I bring them on?
Hi, Stoney.
Yes. You just have to sign them in. Is that your friend up there? She's causing a ruckus.
Yes, that's another
I
one.
am not causing a ruckus, you liar.
Sign them all into the ledger so we know who's on the ship.
MS, K, and D. There we go.
Good enough. And he looks at the other two and he's like, "Oh, for fuck's sakes."
Yeah, if you could just
You
get them
got more
on
wine.
before,
He takes a little.
before takeoff, I'm just gonna. I really need to. Stony runs up the gameplay.
He pulls out a little silver spike out of his pocket, sticks it in one of his ears, And he says, "Yeah, Captain, we got 2 drunkards who need to come aboard." Yep, he'd be good.
I am not drunk.
2 Arakakra fly down and swoop them up and land them on the ship.
Stony runs up and he's like, "Okay, oh, it's you. We'll discuss the other shit that happened later. I really need to find out."
Dovin's pretty sure
Onyx
that
is
he
on
can
this ship.
teleport now. So
He says, first she says, hold on, I have to deal with your friends. Your friend is trying to explain what's going on. I'll get it from you in just a second. We're almost ready to ship out anyway, but we're going to Maliki. That'll have to be close enough for now.
Distracted by the cool-looking ship.
I jump up and grab her coat by the collars. My brother just abducted my nephew.
Yes, strange gnomish wizard who once blew up my ship. I understand this, but let me take care of the business I have to take care of. Otherwise, the ship won't make it. Understood?
Fine. He drops down.
And then she goes to turn, and then she crouches down to your level, and she says, "Listen, Master, I believe it's Tark, yes?
Yeah.
I sympathize with you. I truly do. I understand the direness of your situation, but things must be done right, or consequences. Fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Take a breath. I understand your exasperation. Can't have been gone long if you're still going this insane.
You don't know Stony that well.
I know.
Tell me what happened to your finger.
She holds up her other hand. The other hand also only has 4 fingers.
That's nifty.
That's,
Does it make picking locks hard? Or
she
does it make it easier?
she points at 2 people. Get the private's brew, and they walk back and they come out with 2 like glasses for Dovin and Krevin. And she's like, "It's alcohol. You can drink it."
Is that going to kill them?
Dovin goes cheers and downs it.
Oh, too late.
And then Krevin puts a little peanut butter in his and like smears the rim with it, and then drinks his. And then
Throw him overboard.
they both look at each other, smile for a second, and then just drop. She says, "Good, they're subdued." She says, "They're not harmed. They'll just sleep
I'm not
until morning.
drinking that.
They're going to have a brutal headache in the morning."
Would my restless endurance kick in?
No, it surpasses it.
It's
fact-
not
that'd be
fucking
funny.
you out by reducing you to 0.
In the brief moments before you go to sleep, you feel like this might have been an orcish concoction.
He'll fall asleep with a smile then.
She says, "Now, Master Tark, take a breath. Tell me what happened."
Okay, so Onyx is my brother, and
No, slow down. Tell me what happened calmly.
So we're coming back into town. We saw my brother storm out of the house and teleport in a portal of the shadow. We went to go find him. We found him. I tried to get out of him what was going on. He was being cryptic and
creepy.
mentioned something about some stupid story that my father told us when we were kids.
What story?
The treasures of Ferris Rilmond. He's crazy. We just need to like find him.
She says-
He,
Go ahead. So where do you think
my
he's gone?
nephew came. I don't know. Probably to find some of the things that are mentioned in the story. My nephew came up trying to convince him to come back or something, and he pulled to Shale towards him with magic, and then both of them were gone the same way that he had teleported before.
See. Well, I can assure you he's not aboard this ship. But do you have any idea how far you can go with this teleportation? And then she holds up one finger when she says that. How close are we to being done? And the guy says, about 10 minutes, Captain. Good.
I don't know. I've never seen that type of teleportation before. It could be a couple 100 feet. It could be a few 100 miles. I'm not sure.
How far did we go before? Because you could call that the minimum.
Like from the teleportation circle?
When he left and we went to go get him. Like, from where he left to where we found him, how far was that?
I would tell you, but I don't know what happened to my map. It's genuinely just gone. So if it's 3 days travel, I'd say like 200 miles.
From the house to where we found him?
Oh, no. Sorry, that was only like 4 or 5 miles. I thought you were talking about like when you use the teleportation circle.
Yeah, no. Just wanted to set a minimum that we knew he could accomplish with that teleportation.
Yeah, that was like 4 or 5 miles.
4 or 5 miles. Minimum.
Well, that a minimum doesn't give me much to go on.
Nope, we don't have, we don't have 2 separate points to take this baser things off of, so you got to work with what you got.
That's fair. So, why are you going to the Southern Isles? I've never heard of this story. Is it a children's story?
Yeah, it's a children's story that my dad told us when we were kids. One of the treasures is in the Southern Isles.
I see. Any particular place you know of?
It's somewhere with a volcano.
Oh, there's many of those in the Southern Isles. And Stoney, you would know from just living there. There's like 5, maybe 6 volcanoes
There
that you
were
do know of.
turtles nearby.
There was what? Turtles? She says, well, that narrows it down to 2 of them, so that's something to start with. But we have to go to Maliki first. I would be glad to help you because this sounds like a fun adventure, at least for the first island or so. You're on your own from there.
And you thought I was going to be a problem when I came aboard.
You are a problem, ma'am, but we'll deal with you, miss.
I'm the opposite of a problem. You love me, you just don't know it yet. You'll see.
We'll see when we get there. And she holds out her hand. She says, we've never been properly introduced. I am Ivana Starsong.
Hi, Stony Tart. Pleasure to meet you. When are we going?
Millie Sweetberry. And the drunkards are Kreppen and Dovin. Dovin's the one that smells somehow worse.
I see. She kind of kicks Dovin in the foot. Put them below.
How I wake him up, but you need a knife.
We're no. Drunkards sleep below. And 2 guys each drag them off. Now, there's a lot of these yellowish colored people walking around on the deck, preparing things, taking in the cargo, hoisting sails, doing the boat things.
Do they have pointy ears, not pointy ears?
They're pointy ears, yes.
What's with all the elves?
It's just, they're not elves.
They got pointy ears, don't they?
That doesn't mean they're an elf. Lots
They're
of
like
things.
You're half of one.
Stony points at his ears.
Those aren't the same points.
She points to the pointed ears, but there's some slightly rounded off because they're gnomish ears. There's like as you say that a pixie's flying by, she grabs the pixie by the wings. Sorry, and just points at her head.
That doesn't count as an ear. Her head's like the size of my ear.
Does anyone speak Sylvan?
Let me check, because that is a definite possibility
No.
for all of my characters.
I speak thieves' cant.
Nope.
Oh,
The
well,
one time exotic languages are in common use, I didn't take any.
this pixie has has an unusually loud voice, and she screams. And the woman says, "I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to grab you by the wing. Just my bad." And it flies away, screaming
She
something.
sounded very unhappy with you.
She was. That was a lot of profanity. Like a lot.
I
Like
remember some of those.
she's
words.
like, I'm literally a sailor, and that's more profanity than I've ever heard out of one person.
Is that like a personal space thing? And
That was a
Stoney
don't touch their fucking wings thing. That was my
Stoney
bad.
looks back at the rest of the crew.
Well,
When
she
are we
shouldn't be
fucking
such a
shoving off?
about it.
She says, "Are we ready yet?" And the guy says, 2 minutes ago, ma'am.
Aha! My distractions have worked.
So she starts barking off commands, pointing to things, walking up to the helm. And she nods to the man behind the wheel.
No.
And you see the rope getting pulled up from that's holding it to the dock. And then you guys just start, I wouldn't say at first you're lazily drifting away, and then it starts catching some real speed. Somewhere around, I'd say 35, 40 miles an hour, which is fairly fast for a balloon. Even for an air balloon, which you have ridden before, Stoney, this one's quite a bit faster.
Stoney's going to the front of the ship, just anxiously waiting and tapping his fingers on the railing.
Ivana walks over to you,
As will Millie.
and she leans over the rail. She hands Millie an apple.
Fuck yeah.
She was handing you a peeling knife, but she's like, okay, never mind. Puts it back in her holster.
Eat the coronal.
Okay. You're one of those people. Got it.
People threw those away. That was good food.
No,
Oh,
you cannot say one of those people without me bringing up the fact that there's a guy in the saxophone section in the marching band here that eats the apple from the top.
That guy's a sociopath.
some people.
Anyway,
So, she says, oh, I was one of those people, and points to you when you say that. Talking about the trash. But that was a long time ago. Now I'm a captain of a ship.
That was like 8 months ago.
Oh, poor thing. She looks back. Bring her some jerky as well.
And Stoney, I was going to tell you, there's little worrying will do for you right now besides keep you from thinking about how to handle this. It would be better if you calm down and put your mind to use.
Ivana was going to say, or says, I was going to say exactly that.
oh, believe me,
That's
I'm
what they
thinking
told us
of
when we
many
got really
ways.
stressed out about stealing things. It worked.
I'm thinking about many ways to try and handle this. And he's
So what do you think
sort of-
happened?
Huh?
What do you think happened? Is this strange behavior for your brother?
Very. My dad mentioned something about a deal. He was talking about some sort of shit about a queen that wasn't mentioned ever in the story.
I know Strode was able to make people like him and make them do things that they wouldn't have normally. Could it be something like that?
I don't know. Maybe.
And Millie thinks for a second, ah, fuck, he did that to Gertruda. I'm gonna have to deal with that later. All clicks a few weeks later.
Stoney's like trying to fiddle with the components of his gauntlet, trying to rearrange them to be more potent. Just trying to keep his hands busy.
Just, why don't you tell me a little bit more about this story? If his erratic, and she does air quotes, which is really funny with only 4 fingers. Just if his erratic behavior is based on this story, maybe that'll give you some insight.
So, the story takes place like almost 2,000 years ago. And the wizard that it was about put his greatest treasure, his greatest works into 5 treasures. At the time, he just saved entire places or peoples.
Sounds like a good man.
What did
The
the
first
treasure-
one kept a fucking volcano from destroying a place.
That's-
One
Sorry, Connor. I didn't mean to do this to you so
No
suddenly.
worries.
I was planning on doing.
One stopped demons
Snort that
from
out.
crossing a river. The third just made land fertile again, but nobody knows what he fucking did there. One, he something like a mirror that I don't know what it does. There were just 5 things that were placed sporadically throughout the world.
Those don't sound particularly dangerous, just kind of helpful.
Yeah, and I'm worried about what's going to happen if he takes them from where they're supposed to be.
Oh, you think they're still doing whatever they're doing?
There's no reason to believe that they aren't.
Okay, that could be bad. I guess this is a detour that we cannot avoid. Don't be that way, Toto.
Stop him at the first one. If this isn't the one he's going for, we're stuck. I don't have magic powerful enough to keep him out of it if he can teleport there.
We can stab him. I don't want to because it's your brother, but like, that's an option. You have healing magic.
She's got a point.
Like, if we have to subdue him, you can keep
And
him going under.
She thinks for a minute. Wait, wizards can do healing magic?
Oh, don't you see the instrument on his back?
And do some healing magic, but it hurts a lot.
Oh, some give and some take there.
Yeah, life transference is weird. That was out of character, by the way.
Yeah. I just want to say the way your guys' pictures are lined up on my screen, it kind of looks like you're in the same dorm room right now. Like even like the stuff behind you kind of lines up to look similar.
Yeah, me and
Your
Mikhail
walls are
go
the
to
same colors.
college, even though we're 2 states apart.
More like
what state you live in.
more like 4. He's in Idaho.
Oh yeah, that's a lot more than 2.
See, me and you only have Ohio in between us. Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah, Stoney's not being very clear, and he's obviously distraught in case it wasn't obvious.
yeah. She says, "Well, it sounds like a lovely fairy tale for children. Hopefully, we find your brother before he can, if he manages to get these treasures? Question mark.
I just want to point out that the story I heard about your guild handling that set guy also sounds like something out of a fairy tale, so maybe keep an open mind.
Yeah, we do that quite often. That's kind of what we're here for.
I just hope we're going to the right one first.
Yeah, it'd be bad if you went to the wrong place.
I don't know, maybe there's cool stuff there next to the item that we can keep while the item can stay safe.
That's always a possibility. So I'm gonna go with you there for that purpose.
He's just got like glittering gems for eyes right now, just like
Yeah, she's definitely a role model for Millie, but not a good one. She doesn't seem that much older than you. You get the air that she's not that much older than you in an elven equivalent way.
Oh, okay. So like 120 probably.
Yeah, something like that.
just my age plus 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tends to be about how elves go. Their amount of maturity is Age minus 100.
Past memories are a hell of a drug.
So she folds her arms behind her back and says, "Well, if you're going to worry, Master Tark, you're going to worry. Miss Millie,
Yeah, what's this?
do you like to play cards?"
Which kind of cards? I don't know that many games, and most of them involve stabbing your hands.
No, none of those games. Come on, I'll teach you.
And Millie like starts to do knife hands. Wait, what?
She says, "I'll teach you dragon corners."
Just
Do you have a wizard on board other than me?
We have like 4. They
Okay.
help make the ship go. You may have noticed we go faster than most other ships. And then
how
you-
does that work?
And then you look up, and there's a couple wizards just constantly using gust back and forth.
How does this whole thing work?
By a couple Demian
Around
too.
at it while she pulls out the cards.
She says magic, just magic. Not really. She points to the balloon. She says, "You see that big metal device there in the middle of the balloon?
Yep.
Well, that's run on magic. But the fire that is blowing, it keeps the air hot, so we keep on rise. That's
Oh,
what
so
moves
it's
us up and down."
So
When you
it's
say a
just,
couple wizards casting gust, you mean
it's
there's
just a
like
thermal reaction.
2 there, right?
What's that?
There's like 2 wizards casting gust continuously.
Yeah.
Okay. And she said there were like 4.
Yep.
Okay. But where are the other 2?
Specifically not including you. The other 2 are sleeping before their shift.
Can people talk to them while they're doing their thing, or do they need to concentrate?
No, they're fine to talk. As she's handing cards out, she hands you 5 each. Millie. She's trying to explain a game, but it seems really complicated at first.
Which cards?
There you go. So yeah, you can go up to the top. By the way, the layout of the ship, it has that balloon above it. It has it seems like a regular ship deck below it. And there's one main large sail at the front of the ship and one towards the middle. And you have the idea that that catches the wind to actually push it. And you can see that there's a crank that when you turn it, moves the front sail, and that's what pulls you in a different direction.
Stoney's gonna go up to the wizards that are doing the gust, and he's gonna ask them, "Hey, so you guys are wizards, right? You're not like sorcerers that are just doing this."
So there's one guy that goes, "Yeah, I'm a wizard. He's a sorcerer," and then he just keeps going. And like in between gusts, he speaks to you.
Okay, so do you have your spell book on board? I'd be happy to just trade spells. I just would like to get as much in as possible before I have to face something regrettable.
He says, "Sure, but the captain's got us on rush, so I'll be here for the next 4 hours."
Did the other guys just finish?
No, if they are asleep already, I would leave them be. It's a good way to piss them off in case we're still on rush when they wake up.
Okay.
Stick their hand in a
just-
bucket of water. It'll be funny. Trust me.
I'll just wait over there, and Stoney's gonna sit
When
next to Millie and Ivana and just watch the card game.
Yeah, Millie, when you say that, Ivana's like, "What?" Because Stoney's all the way across the ship. You're like at the back of the ship on the raised back. Disavows of the
No,
stern.
She's got really high passive perception. She can hear real good.
So you finally put down one of your cards.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the guy like three people behind me has an issue with his lungs.
So you put down a card, and Ivana goes, "What the hell?" And she takes all the cards and shuffles them again. I don't know how you keep beating me.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's why I don't know how the hell you're beating me. Stoney, as you sit down, are you staring far away, or are you trying to learn this game too?
1,000-yard stare.
Okay. I figured.
Yeah, because I can't cheat until I know how to play. What?
She says, Good point. So we're gonna play a different game now. So yeah, it's a surprisingly smooth ride. The wizards are keeping up a very even pace, so it's not like being jerked by the wind. Just sailing through the skies, and you make
I don't know. Dovin would
distance.
like that.
Too bad he's asleep. Hey, Dovin, what are you dreaming about?
Olga.
I was going to ask if Dovin's dream of electric sheep.
Nah, they dream in electric booze.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, Dovin, your dream is literally just Olga standing there as alcohol pours all over her. And like,
Even got one of
Meanwhile,
those
he's just
showers from
snuggling with
Chicago, but it's
Krevin.
just like liquor.
and like explosions and lightning behind her.
Have you ever seen heavy metal? It's just heavy metal.
And the whole time he's doing it with Krevin. Just holding Krevin.
Yeah,
It's
Krevin.
just like Krevin in his arms while he sees all of this.
Yeah. So Krevin will cuddle up to you too, because Brandon's not here. This is fun for me.
Krevin's
So when you wake
having a dream of being held as a child.
When you wake up in the morning, you're gonna have peanut butter like smeared all over you too, Dovin.
There we go.
All right. So yeah,
Krevin probably dreams of having everything ever that was ever even remotely nice taken away from him because he wasn't allowed to have nice things.
so as
He's
you guys,
probably dreaming about not meeting Millie.
Yeah, that might have been better for him.
so as the night goes on later and later, during the card game, Ivana starts ordering that some of the lights get turned off as you hit more open sea, so you become less of a target. She says, "Millie, do you want to see something really cool?"
Does it explode?
No, but it does something really cool. She says, "Will you grab the Miss Millie a stool?" And they slide a stool over to a railing on the right side. I don't know which one is port or starboard. Okay, fight me. I know bow and stern and poop deck and mainsail.
Oh,
A few other things. Yeah. So, so she slides you they slide you a fairly large stool, and you climb up it, and you look over there. She points down. Now wait for it.
Did you say right side?
Yeah.
Starboard.
Starboard. That's what I thought. So you're looking over. She says, "Wait for it." She's pointing to a certain spot in the water. About this time, Embry. Yep, there it is. And you see coming up from the depths suddenly a greenish blue light. And then, boom, a large, to you, the biggest fish you've ever seen. But it's actually a bioluminescent whale as it springs from the water. And it breaches and falls to its side, making a huge splash. And then you see
Again.
And then you see three more do it. And they just swim low below the surface. And you see, and she says, "And that over there will be what they're eating." And you see a bunch of tiny dots in the water, tiny little white and yellow dots.
Is
And
that
then you
why
just-
they glow?
And you see like their face kind of breach above it and suck a bunch of them up and go down. And they're just doing this over and over again.
It's like watching somebody wipe out a city.
Do what?
I said it's like watching someone wipe out a city.
Kind of.
How long has it been since Stoney talked to the guy?
Like 3 hours.
Okay, almost there.
Yeah, almost there. She says, "Master, you can't even hear me right now." All right.
No, I can hear you.
Oh, would you like to see the whales?
They glow like your bird feather.
Tony just stands up and tries to get a view through or between the railings.
She says, "Bird feather."
Yeah, he's got a crazy ass feather. It's blue and it's glowing.
Can I see it?
Stony pulls out the box and tosses it to her.
She takes it. Well, this is quite beautiful. I haven't seen one of these birds in forever. Closes the lid.
You know what bird it comes from?
Well, yeah.
What bird?
Well, I've always known it as a long elven word.
Well, can you translate it into a not long common word?
Or even better,
Um,
halfling.
The closest I can find is star sparrow or night sparrow.
Makes sense. I saw it at night. No, I didn't see
Yeah.
it. I just saw the feather.
We're on starboard, so I'll remember it as Star Sparrow.
Then she thinks for a second. They're not in migration for another 3 months. I wonder why they're this far south.
Where were we when that happened? Was that nearby, or were we somewhere else when that was
You were near Sarlazat when that happened.
like a day north or something like that?
They usually live in the north. You gather from what she just said, if you use context clues.
Yeah. Like, which direction were we heading with the caravan? Like when we came
South.
here?
You were heading south.
All right. Yeah, so we were only like a day north of Starlazat or whatever that city's called.
Is there a teleportation circle in the Southern Isles? Would Stony know that?
There might be. They were talking about putting one in the guild hall, but as of now, there isn't one that you know
Okay.
of. You never thought to check the wizard tower for one either before it crumbled.
I didn't, but if it was there, it's gone now.
Someone is angry.
Yeah.
She says, "Yeah, they're not in migration for another few months. That's odd. You don't usually see them this far south." And she hands it back to you. They're beautiful birds, though, if you ever catch the chance to actually see it.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. And Stony just puts it back in his pack.
But yeah, she points out the whales to you too, Stony. And you watch them as they eat their photoplankton is what they are.
Just stand behind Stony and start raising my crossbow. Just look at the whales, Stony.
That's so fucked up. You have a flintlock pistol. It was right there.
So much more violent.
Okay, but is it though?
There's something about the arrow still like being stuck in there.
Kids, if you don't know that reference, you should have paid attention in 10th grade English. Or watch The Walking Dead. I guess it's also a reference in there now, isn't it? I was thinking of Mice and Men, but whatever.
Lenny or the little one. Either works. Oh, Dad.
The same way, looking at flowers.
Man, I didn't realize looking at flowers could be so lethal.
You know, in all Greek mythology, when you begin in an open meadow with flowers, it is a bad omen and will end badly. Literally the opening to Hades' wife's story.
Yep.
Persephone, that's her name, Persephone.
There's a lot of dead people in Greek mythology that turned into flowers.
And the one who, the musical guy who ends up turning around right before he gets out. I can't remember his name.
Yep. So anyway, yeah, the final hour passes. And then the guy, when you go up to meet him, he is just pouring sweat from doing this.
Hey, listen, I get you're tired. It's just like
No, a promise is a promise, man. A promise is a promise. I only have time for like a spell and a half to copy down, though. Well, for myself, my book is obviously open.
yeah. What ones would you want?
He's looking through them. He's like, oh,
I've got
fine.
Mage Hand, Firebolt, Acid Splash, Floating Disc, Unseen Servant, Witch Bolt, Hideous Laughter, Alarm, Chromatic Orb,
Fuck you.
Fog Cloud,
Fucking do
Shield,
it.
Scorching Ray, Melts Acid Arrow, Hold Person, Mirror Image, and Find Familiar.
Is there a reason why that
Waffle
blue's not dead
flavored.
yet?
Yeah, he's looking at your spells, and he's like, "What the hell is Find Waffle?"
It's this and Waffle.
He goes, "Yep, I want that one."
Okay.
So you're looking through his. He has first and second level spells.
Okay.
You see things like Absorb Elements, Alter Self, Aid, Alarm, Animal
He has Aid.
Messenger. Huh?
His aid?
Aid. That is a
Don't
second
even-
level.
Stoney's taking that one.
I haven't even made past the A's, and I see a bunch of stuff he'd
That's
like
the
to have.
10 HP one, isn't it?
That's the one that just increases your max HP by 5.
Yeah.
That's-
Stoney's also going to take Absorb Elements. That's level 2, right? Or level 1?
Absorb Elements is level 1. And then he has a bunch of more cantrips than any other wizard you've ever seen written down. He's
Oh.
like, obviously you can't like write these ones down and copy them because they don't work the same as normal spells, but you know, he's just kind of like posturing to how many cantrips he's learned.
Maybe he's a warlock.
How many cantrips is it? Like, what number?
Like 8.
8. Okay.
Like too many.
Millie can just walk by and whisper into Stoney's ear, "If you eat his heart, you can gain his powers."
I don't. That's not how wizarding works.
So you guys,
80% sure it's how it works, and then I'll walk away again.
so Millie, when you see Stoney next, it full on looks like two high schoolers actually met up to do homework for once. And they're both just have each other's notes and stuff, and they're writing things down.
Oh, it's cute. What if his family had seen this?
Stoney's taking notes and then immediately punching things into the gauntlet to have it be presets.
Yeah. Orpheus is who I was thinking too, Mikhail.
Huh?
I assume he has Wind Gust.
Yeah. He has the Gust cantrip.
Oh, okay.
That's one of their cantrips. I believe
I
Gust.
refuse to believe that you can't gain the power of another wizard by eating their heart, but Stoney's just going to have to keep trying on that one.
He looks at you, and there's like lightning climbing up his arm. He says, "You're welcome to try, miss."
Why would I do it? I don't want magic.
You are missing out. And he begins going into this long, drawn-out speech. He's only copied half.
Turn into a raven and fly away.
told her before.
He's got like that spell halfway written down. It's some kind of notes you figure, Stoney, that he's gonna improve on later. He says, "Do you have any idea how fun magic can be?"
I've been over it with her before.
He's gonna just go on this long spiel for like 25 minutes.
Yeah, I've already turned into a raven and just like, I didn't even fly away. I just kind of hopped.
And he's just following you the whole time, talking to you about it. He's like, "That's a neat trick. I want to learn that one too." And then he's just walking away from the table, Stoney. Then he stops, turns around, and comes back
That's
for his
a 30
notebook.
for stealth. That is my 20 for this session. Millie is hiding from this man.
Millie doesn't bring herself out into the open for a lot of dudes.
They're all too forward. So yeah, that is a 30. That's really funny.
But he stops and he's like, "If you're done, sir, I really should get to sleep." As you see, 2 more wizards are coming out on the deck.
Stoney says, yeah. Not a problem.
He says, "Thank you for the familiar spell. I'll have to figure it out later." So, by the way, I would like to mention on stream that because it is the waffle familiar, instead of the normal components, you could also use milk, flour, eggs, and sugar to summon the familiar. It still has to be. You still have to reach the 10 gold point, but
That's a
And
lot
so-
of fucking milk, flour, and eggs.
it is. That's why it's humorous, and I wanted to do it.
After those two wizards come out, Stoney's gonna go up to them and be like, "Hey, so are you two actual like wizards? People that don't magic tend to have a problem telling the difference."
They're like, sorry, son, we're both sorcerers.
Well, thanks anyway.
We have a wizard. He just went to bed.
Yeah, I was talking to him.
I come out from behind a nearby barrel. What's a sorcerer?
And he said, then one of them says, I'd be careful if you're going to copy his spells, though. A lot of them tend to backfire. It miscalculations in his writings, I think.
That explains all the cantrips.
What's a sorcerer?
Yeah. It's just, well, magic comes from within us. And then as he's getting ready to light up the wind, you see all his veins glow a bright blue. And then the wind comes out.
That looks painful.
It's not. It feels... Have you ever tried silver spice? You would know that silver spice is a drug that's primarily for the youths take in big cities. Basically, yes.
Billy barely drinks.
They're like, it feels
No,
like
it's
that,
hard to
but
do-
better.
It's hard to do my job on an unfettered mind.
Oh, well, don't do drugs, kids. But it feels like that, but better.
Meanwhile, since I'm a wizard, I have to study to get my stuff.
But I bet it feels the same.
To be
I'll-
honest,
I'll
most
look at the sorcerer. Are you almost as useless as he is when he doesn't have any of his big spell thingies left?
yes.
Yeah. And you see him shoot off a couple little firebolts. But I can do that.
This is why I don't do magic.
You just watch the fire go out and sizzle on the water.
Tony also launches a couple firebolts.
See? Always useful.
Just pull out my pistol, load it.
So that's the first time you shot it.
Yes.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Is it against fear?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get advantage. That's actually pretty good. 14 plus 2 is 16.
Imagine getting ones on both of them.
I did get like a 3 on one of them, so you know.
So you are not gun shy, but you are kind of nervous about making that loud sound again. Because as soon as you made that sound, a bunch of heads turned your way.
Yeah, I'm not going to be very sneaky with this more than once. I just kind of put it back in my pocket.
The barrel's kind of warm as it touches your buttock.
It stays.
So Captain Ivana will walk up to you and say, well, I hate to be a rude host, but I must go to sleep.
Is
Yeah,
that-
you do your thing. You do your thing. You know how to run a ship. I just
Just
know
try
how
not.
to magic.
Yeah,
Try not to worry.
sleep as much as we used to.
And she says, try not to worry so much. You're gonna make the sailors nervous, the crew nervous.
You should have them go to Barovia. That'll make them nervous forever.
And she hands you a pipe and puts some tobacco in it. I find smoking calms me. Well,
It's not for your lungs.
it calmed my father. And then she turns around and heads off to bed.
As far as I know, my brother made a deal with some sort of demon for his soul in exchange for magical powers to get the treasures.
Hey, those deals can be broken, and sometimes just ignored.
We kidnapped my nephew, who was following in my footsteps.
Oh, we'll get him back. It's not like we're in Barovia. Things actually seem to go like positively here sometimes. It's really strange.
With his mental state as it is now, I'm not sure what he'd do with Shale if he tried to fight back.
Would Shale try to fight back? He seemed like kind of a meek kid.
He has a little bit of spunk. He knows what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah, but it's still family. You guys seem to care about that.
Situations tend to be different when you're somewhere against your will with someone who's unhinged.
Yeah, that part's definitely true. He was off his fucking rocker. We'll figure it out. Don't really have any other options, do we?
Not at the moment, no.
Well, stop worrying about it then. Either we fail and it sucks, or we succeed and it's good. There's the two options. That's what can happen. Worrying about it's not going to change those.
If he goes to a different one before this one,
If there's a trap around this corner, I might die. If there's a trap on this lock, I might die. If there's a trap around that door, I might die. Sometimes you just have to be willing to open the door. Otherwise, it takes forever to get anywhere. You ever like try to check every tavern door for a trap? It's tedious. Just flash back to Millie at 8 years old, just like trying to be sneaky and checking each and every door.
Really, she's literally just crawling through the walkway.
I mean, at 8 years old, she's small enough that is pretty sneaky.
that put her at like 6 inches at most.
6 to 10.
She's what, like 3 feet now?
She's 210.
210?
3 feet now.
So yeah, he'd been roughly 8 inches.
Jesus,
1 inch for every year.
that is so absurdly tiny. Like halfling children have to be the cutest things on the fucking planet.
Like, why does no one think about this? Think about the halfling babies.
They're like,
'Cause
they're
they
like a
can't be-
lighter. They have to be like a lighter.
To be so small. Anyway. So yeah, Stony, I don't know, Millie, do you eventually go off and find somewhere to sleep, or do you stay up with Stony? Because I imagine Stony's not sleeping this night.
He's not, no. His mind is just
Yeah.
continuously moving.
I'm gonna go up into the crow's nest and just shoo off whoever's there and pass out up there.
He doesn't go anywhere. This is his job. He will be lashed for leaving, and he explains this to you several times before you give up and just go to sleep.
You get to listen to me snore then.
He's like, "That's fine. I live with sailors." Meanwhile, 5 minutes later,
She
you hear
turns into hybrid form before she falls asleep, so it's just the most horrifying noise that can be.
so fucked. So yeah, Stony, you're kind of staring off in the distance. The whales are gone. All the bioluminescent things have sunk back down into the ocean where they live. You watch as the sun's starting. No, hold on. To your east, which, if you're heading south, would be on your left. You watch as the sun start to rise. Wait, do I have that back? No, it is east. Yeah. The sun starts to rise to your east, and you watch as the light starts to break across the water, creating kind of this beam effect that leads to you, kind of follows you as it slowly rises into the air. The ship becomes more busy as the day carries on. Or as the morning begins.
There, and he's just flipping through his gauntlets presets. He's looking out over the water, thinking about Shale and Onyx and what the fuck could have gone wrong to make all of this happen. And what kind of fucking deal he possibly could have made to think doing what he's doing now is a good idea.
These thoughts just keep running through your head and running through your head. As Ivana walks out, arms raised in a stretching motion, she says, "Morning, Miss Master Tark. Did you get any sleep?"
I would say yes, but that'd be a lie.
I'm gonna say this almost the exact same things to the guy in the Koro's nest when I wake up. Just kind of spread my wings. You get any sleep? I'm just a lot more smug about it. Then I flap down.
As you're flying away, I'm not allowed to sleep. She's not listening.
Millie gets to keep her sense of superiority on this one.
So, you flap down, and she says, "Morning, Miss Sweetberry."
Stony, you look like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just huge bags under your eyes, visible stress lines in the face. You've never seen, even when you were in Barovia, you've never seen Stony this worried or stressed out or scared.
I don't have anything to help bags under your eyes. Maybe the alchemist fire, but that might just burn.
Ivana slowly pushes the alchemist fire back into your bag. Please don't have open flames on my ship.
What about just kind of briefly?
She just pushes it back in. Doesn't even matter what it is. She just pushes it back in.
It's just powdered glass. Okay.
No.
Stony goes to the bow of the ship and he pulls out all of the random knickknacks that he'd collected throughout the journey. He's just looking at them hard and just trying to get his mind off of this stuff, is trying to modify some of them into the gauntlet.
All right. So as he does that, Ivana holds you back before you follow him, Millie. She says, "Your friends will be up soon with the terrible hangover."
I don't think you're giving Dovin enough credit. He's used to this.
Oh no, it's a side effect of the brew, but it's to get sailors to quit drinking so much when they're supposed to go on duty the next morning. But, and
it took Dovin dying a few times to get him to stop drinking the first time.
She slides a random chair over to the railing. "If you'll hop up, please."
You gonna throw me off? So I can
No,
fly.
no.
I wouldn't accomplish anything.
I would never do that. You can fly, as you just said. That would be dumb.
Get on the chair.
And she points forward off the port of the bow, and you see quickly coming toward. Well, not quickly. Slowly drifting towards you. You see first a big gray blob, and it slowly gets closer and closer. Finally, you can see the rocky and craggy shore, and these trees all over the place that are deeper green than you would have ever thought possible. Off in the distance, you can see some kind of mountain way far in the back, as well as a never mind on that thing. Sorry, that's not there. I'm getting my map mixed up because I don't have my actual map with me. I don't know where the hell it went. But you see those trees are definitely a dense, lush jungle. And she points over, and you can see kind of a similar sight on the other side, which is another island. She says, "Well, that one I forget the name of, but this one," she points and says, "Miss Sweetberry, I believe this is your first time, so welcome to Maliki."
What the fuck is Maliki?
That island. And with that, we'll end it right there. Because that's a fun statement. That's a fun interaction to end it on. So yeah, this was session 28, When You Wish Upon a Star.
It doesn't matter who you are.
It was an impulse thing, but it's funny.
Does this mean that we're all going to Disney World this summer? That's what the commercial.
I wish.
So I hope you all enjoyed it. Those of you that made it this far into Curse on Dice and watched this session, again, check out Connor's channel, Versatile Diecaster. I'm messing up my words more. I'm slurring. I must be drunk like Dovin. Also, check out
Versatile Diecaster.
Yeah, Versatile Diecaster, guys. It's super cool. You got anything cool going on there right now?
I don't have anything scheduled concretely at the moment, except for something happening on the 27th. That's the next session of Abishai Assault.
Cool. That was fun. I watched part of that. I should finish watching that. Also check out the Absolute Tabletop official RPG group. You can also find me on social media, which apparently my social media is like the most blown up thing I have. I'm closing in on 100 followers on Instagram for some reason, and I don't ever use it. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, those bots are killer.
Right? It's a lot of musicians follow me. I think they're hoping that I follow them back, but I want to look cool, so I don't. But yeah, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at YZachY. The words, not the letters. It's literally WHY Zach WHY. So
Why, Zach?
that's exactly it. It's exactly was my thought process.
My reaction after my first session in Curse on Dice.
When you died?
Yeah.
So yeah, be sure to check those out too. I do retweet and post a lot on Twitter, so there's that. Unless anyone else has something else to say or do, I think that's where we're gonna hit the button.
If you look up Versatile Diecaster on Tumblr, I sometimes write things there.
Hey. Okay, well then, until next week. Bye bye, everybody.